Mainly in England, there are three types of main school, even though if you count preschool and nursery, there's four, but not everybody goes to nursery. Only people who have like parents that are both working when they don't have time for to take after their look after their child. That's why they put them into preschool. But I went for like 2 years, I think. I'm not sure, I can't remember. But yeah, then we have primary school, which is 7 years. It goes from reception to year 6, unlike you guys have in Poland. It's like just old system with gymnasium. Except our gymnasium lasts 5 years, not 3. And then we have college, university, so on, so on, so on. But then if you want to go on university, if you want to go to university, you need to complete sixth form, which is 2 extra years of school for you to take your A levels. And if you have your A levels, you can go to university. Without your A levels, you will not get anywhere. Because in secondary, you just write your GCSE, and at the age of 16, you can be like, oh, bye, I don't want to study anymore, I want to go to work. But if you want to study, then you go to sixth form and then university. Or you just go straight to college. It depends on the person, obviously. I personally think this is a way better system than you guys have in Poland, because it's just too quick because you tell them you guys have to choose straight away which subjects you want to write your matura of, like with or whatever. And I think that's a bit too like, you're too young, you're like 14 or 15, and you can't really decide what school you want to go to, like what university. I think it's a bit too much. I know by myself, because I've been changing my rozszerzenia like 24/7. I currently have 5, and I'm still not sure about them. What else can I say about this? I think just English school is it's more calmer. Like, you go into primary school, you don't have to worry about anything. We have like no homework nearly. You go into secondary school for like till year 9, you only have like 1 homework a week. And then year 9, you pick your GCSEs, and then you have to start studying, but it's still not as much as we have in Poland. Poland is another world. Seriously, there's just so much. In my opinion, it's a bit too much, but it's not like I can change anything. Another important thing about schools in England, they are our levels are basically put into like key stages. Key stage 1 is obviously like preschool. Preschool is American, so nursery. Key stage 2 is basically like the second part of primary school, because the key stage 1 is the first part. Like, you learn how to talk, write, read, alphabet, singing, stuff like that. Yeah, 3 to 6 you learn spelling, grammar, all those kind of things. And then in year 6 you write your stats, which determine to which secondary school you can go. Then start of key stage 3, start of secondary school, 7 to 9. You don't really have to do anything. It's also like really light. You don't have to worry much. Homework once a week, from my experience, and no, it's not really hard. But then key stage 4, years 10 to 11, is when comes your GCSE. And then you have to study, because obviously you're going to write an exam. And if you want, you don't have to do this. And this is key stage 5, this is 6th form. Years 12 to 11 to 12 to 13. And that's to write your A-levels, like get ready for writing your A-levels. And yeah, I think this is way better than the Polish system as well, because the students they are balanced out with the work. Not like in Poland, straight away you need to learn English, Polish, this, like 1,000 subjects. And here you just have like, you basically get like 3 subjects, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, and it just is all leveled, whereas in Poland it really isn't. Okay, so obviously we have way more interesting subjects than in Poland. That's another big difference. So we have basically English, maths and science, which are compulsory GCSEs. We have to write exams from them. And we also have exams each year to prepare us for your GCSEs, which is very smart. In Hetman, I think we have as well egzaminy semestralne, which is also, in my opinion, smart, because you can basically get used to writing exams and like exam preparation and so on. So we have art and design, which is like your historia sztuki. We have citizenship, which is basically WOS. Computing, to jest... See, now I'm mixing languages. Computing is... It's basically informatyka. Design and technology is your technika. And see, we have it in year 7, whereas we don't have it in primary school. You guys have it in primary school and finish, because they think that we shouldn't really be handling wood and cutting wood and screwing and so on in primary school. Languages, we have that through all of secondary school, even though design and technology does show up in some kind of like year 1 and year 2, but that's just drawing. It's not really serious. And obviously we have geography, history, music, and our music looks totally different to your music as well, but I guess that's just how that works. Physical education, that's PE, that's WF. And then we have religious education, which is a very big difference as well. You guys have religia and you just learn about chrześcijaństwo, whereas we have religious education. We learn about every single religion there is, and we learn all like the rituals, how it works, the beliefs, everything. And then we have obviously exams each month, like every school, like tests, like from the unit. Then sex and relationship education, which I personally think is very useful, because loads of kids don't know, and I think that's the thing, you should know, even if you're like, they only do it if it's from year 11 to year 7 to 9 and 10 to 11. So it's basically through secondary school where you're growing up, and you need to know these things, because just in case, I'd rather be safe than sorry, and like, you just need to know. It's very important to know. Okay, another big difference that I have come to realization of, is that the school year is totally different, like, organization, totally different. Because you guys have 2 months of vakacja in summer. We don't have that. We have 1 month, because we have terms and half terms all the time throughout the year. And I think that's better, because throughout the 2 months, you are really bored and you don't know what to do. Whereas if you have 1 month, then you just cherish the time more. And half terms are very important, because you need a break from time to time, and it's quite useful for like your mental health and so on. So we start school in September, we finish in the 3rd week. This is all written down. So we have a half-term break at the end of October, which is like, they usually last a week, sometimes longer, but very rarely. Christmas holidays are 2 weeks. Then we start, finish early April. Then we have another break, middle and February. Easter holidays 2 weeks. And then we start 2 weeks after Easter, finish 3rd week of July. End of May is a half term, and then summer holidays 6 weeks. So we have a month and a half, whereas you guys have that extra 2 weeks. I personally think this is a way better use of the time than just having 2 months, because realistically you lose all your like studying habits through those 2 months, and then you have to start from new, which is in my opinion very useless. But again, Poland, I'm not the president, I can't really decide. But personally, I don't think it's good. Like working just for that 2 months. I'd rather have it separated like it is in England, and then have it like just calmer. The year's calmer, I'm less stressed out, and so on. The school week lasts 5 days like in Poland. We have around 6 or 7 hours of school daily because we have 5 lessons each day, and we have like 1 hour lunch break, and we have a few breaks in between. Between every lesson, we have 5 minute breaks to get to the next class, because in my school we had 4 buildings, so it was like if you had geography and then science, you had to walk like 20 meters to get to the next class. Between the second and third period, we have 15 minutes break in the morning. We have a lunch break between fourth and fifth period, 60 minutes. And what I like vividly remember from school in England, we had very long lunch lines, and literally was just pushing who would push further, harder, would get it first. Like literally, it was like a fight. I can just imagine how terrible it must be now during COVID. So we start at 8:30 every day, which is, in my opinion, way better than starting at different times every day, because your body gets used to it and your sleep schedule isn't all over the place. We finish at 3:15 every single day. We don't really get more unless you like have attention or something like that. But then that's kind of your fault. Okay, this is a very big thing. We have no textbooks at all. Like maybe in when you're getting ready to your GCSEs, we have like revision books, but we have no textbooks other than that. Like not actual textbooks like you guys have in Poland. And workbooks, ćwiczenia, we only have from like science. We don't have it from any other subject. We have 3 notebooks. We just have to bring our like pencils and so on. Like your pencil case is yours, but resources from other than that, like everything is provided. Basically, our teachers teach by showing a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation from the lesson, basically teaching the lesson. And all of the, like every single lesson's PowerPoint presentation is on the school's website that we all have access to. And we can literally access every single lesson if we need to revise, check, or like if we haven't been in school, we just go straight to the PowerPoint lesson, and then we just rewrite or like take notes or something. Nobody actually did that, but like it was there just in case. We don't have to memorize anything by heart, like literally the tiniest amounts compared to you guys. Literally nothing. Like all the tables and like the periodic table, for example, we did not have to memorize that at all. Like we just had it on every exam next to us, literally. Like it wasn't even like useful to memorize the whole thing. And like English exams, we could open our notebook and look through everything. Okay, there's thousands and thousands of differences between Polish and English system, so I will only mention the most important ones because I could be going on for a few hours talking about this subject. So obviously, what I said before, textbooks, no textbooks, we have presentations, no memorizing by heart. We have loads of things like we get a source like a picture or a piece of writing, and we have to like use that source to find out information, not information from our heads, but from the source. Obviously you guys have piłka siatkowa? No. You know what I mean, handball. We don't have that in England. It just doesn't happen. Like, I don't know why. I have never played it. And so when I came to Poland, I was like, what is that? I had a very weird time processing that, and it was very hard for me to catch up with you guys after you've been learning this for like 7 years, and I was like there for half a year, And then we went to Zalna and I was like, oh, that's cool. So you guys have swimming in Litauen. We have swimming in year 4 and that's it. Like we have 1 year of swimming in year 4 and that's it. It's no secondary swimming. Teachers are very strict in Poland. Like very, like they need this done. Whereas teachers in England, they basically leave it up to you. They're like, oh, if you want to do this, you can do it. If you don't, then you don't. Because it's not their future, it's your future. And if you want to get, like, improve your future and make it better, then you have to want to do that. She can't force you to want to do that. Obviously, you guys have zagrożenia, so you repeat years. In England, nothing. Even if you was the worst student, you wouldn't repeat the year. In Poland, you guys have no such thing as detention. We have detention or isolation, which is basically like if you get in a fight with someone, then you have to spend a whole day or more in this basically like empty room. There's just a table and that's it, and a chair and nothing else. Detention you can get for like forgetting your exercise book, because they're basically using it to prepare you for work. Because if you forget something, like if you forget your laptop in work and you live far away, then you've basically ruined your whole day because you can't work without it, for example. So that's why they do have detention. We also had a policewoman in our school. Like she was there 24/7 looking at us, and I think that was kind of weird, but I guess it is London and you guys haven't experienced that in school here yet. But we had like fights happened very often, and whenever a fight happened, it was very funny because literally the whole school would run to the place where the fight was. It was a massive circle of people, like every single person. It was literally like a bomb, fully. Like everybody wanted to see what happened. Like it was actually funny. So obviously we have uniform. You guys don't. I think uniform is better because, you know, even though like somebody might say, oh, you have more expensive clothes than me, oh, I feel worse or something like that. Like it's kind of pathetic in my opinion because it's just clothes, but somebody might feel worse or better because of their clothes. But then there's still like makeup and backpacks and loads of different things that if somebody wanted to bully you, they would be able to bully you anyways, unless he was literally exactly the same, like backpack, face, everything. So they can bully you in every single way, not just because of your clothes or so on. So I think it's true, but not 100% that they are way better. There's quite a lot more, but as I said before, I could be sitting here for an hour. So I guess that's it. Like I don't think there are more important ones. Oh, we don't change shoes in school. Like, and we can't wear trainers to school as well. They have to be black, shiny shoes. Well, it depends on the school as well, but most schools are having this in London now. You can't have your ears pierced, like, more than, like, not just, like, you can't have it higher than the regular one. You can't have your hair dyed. You can't wear makeup till, like, year 9, but I still wore it, and I never got told off. So I don't know how that works, because I had pounds of makeup on my face, like 2 kilograms, and nobody realised, so I guess they don't really care as much as they say they do. But, you know, better for me. Yeah, we also had badges and points. I got like 300, so I basically went to the head teacher and I got I got a certificate that I had the most points in the whole school. I was form, what was it called? Head of form. I was head of form. So I had a yellow badge because my form was Burnell, because we basically had 4 forms and that's how they divided 240 kids. We had Burnell, Forest, Gibson, and I can't remember the last one, but it was blue. So we had black ties, and then we had like stripes, and one of them was blue, red, yellow, and green. And so basically, we all had to wear those ties. And what was I going to say? Yeah, and so I was head of form of my Burnell form, because I was in Burnell. So I basically got a badge to wear on my blazer. I was also head of, I was student council, so I also got a badge for that. I had the most points. Usually I was the most, not even saying this, showing off. It was very easy to get them for me. I don't know, I was a top student there. And I think I am a top student in Hetman. I'm not sure. But I think it's okay for now. I'm not zagrożona from anything. But I guess it's way harder in Poland. That's a very important thing to take up. But yeah, going back to uniform, because I tend to move off subjects quite quickly. Uniform, I guess it was comfortable. I liked my uniform. And yeah, I knew every single person in my year because I would see them every day in different classes. So it was a very fun experience. I think everybody should experience that because school isn't always boring like Poland makes you think. I don't know. I think Poland should really change their system because it's a bit tragic for me. I know everybody suffers from it, and it doesn't even teach you anything, in my opinion, because why do you need a whole table of pierwiastki if you're not going, for some kind of studia with chemistry? That doesn't make sense. But if that's what the president wants, then we can't really argue as people. But yeah, so I guess there are way more differences, but I would be going on for forever if I was going to carry this on.